Hello there, this is EM Fresh for Fresh to Extreme. And today I'm here at my local trails, West Run Woods. And I'm testing out a new bike today. It's called the Revel Ranger by revelbikes.com. This is an XC bike. They say it's also a new category of XC bike called the Downcountry bike. And that's what kind of piqued my interest because it has a longer reach. I have really long arms and pretty long legs, but I have a short torso. It's weird. My torso from my neck to my waist is very short. So that's the problem I have when riding bikes. But the reason why I pretty much got this, I wanted a lighter bike, but when I put it together, as you can see here, it is actually quite heavy. It's 29 pounds, but that's primarily because of the wheels. But let me just go over what I spec'd it with. I bought the frame only. So I built the bike from the ground up and just put the parts on aftermarket. Okay, so right now, I'll start from the front here. I put a one-up components bar. This is a 20mm rise. I'm finding that it's not quite high enough because this geometry is a lot different than my Slash and Hightower and downhill bikes, and even all my e-bikes. I think I might try to get a 35mm rise one-up bar. I really like it. It's really light. It's a carbon, I believe, and I normally ride Spank Vibrocore handlebars, which are really heavy. The Spank bars are almost a pound more, and it seems to have pretty good vibration dampening. I also tried something new. Instead of using a star nut to attach your stem to the steerer tube or your handlebars, I use this one-up, a EDC tool, basically. You have to create a thread, but you can put this tool in here. I really like this. If I can pull it out. Get it out of there. There we go. Okay, so it has all your tools, your multi-tool in there. That's what this piece is. I won't take it out now. Chain breaker, some other things in there that you need on the ride. You can put like some flat things to plug, or flat plugs to plug your tires if you get flat, but I never have that problem with my wheels. But you just never know. I use the Ergon. I'm trying some new grips, even though my grip of choice, and probably still, is the Wolf Tooth Mega Paw Fat grips. These are smaller, they're very small actually, but they provide vibration dampening. I'm just used to that big cushy grip, but this is really comfortable and it dampens vibrations too, so I might just leave it on. Then if you were to buy a Revel Ranger stock fully equipped, you would have a RockShox SID on it, but I like the Fox a little bit better because of the rebound. But this is a Fox 34 step cast, so it's really light. The front of this bike is super light, like super light. All right, now we go down here. This shock came with, it's perfectly tuned with for the Ranger, and I upgraded it when I bought the frame from the RockShox version. This is the Fox Flow DPS. Very good shock. I have it on my e-bike. There's no adjustments needed. You can lock it out, medium, firm, and then fully open, and it is really good. Same thing for the step cast too. It's the same type of set and forget it type of adjustments for the compression and also for the rebound as well. It has a CBF suspension. That's Canfield suspension. It's really plush. It feels like it has more travel than it does, and so I've not bottomed it out. So you can see this is the farthest I've gone. I pushed it pretty hard. It was a little bit hard to get adjusted to geometry. I had to raise, as you can see, my Axis Reverb drop post here. I had to raise it up, but it's still too low. I had to actually pull it out, as you can see, a little bit further just to get the right riding height. It's really weird to ride on a flat, but when you're going up hills and down the hills, it's just absolutely perfect. This bike is activating more of my muscles. I feel like I'm getting out of the saddle, just really pushing it aggressively. Is it a comfortable bike? Sorta. It's for attacking, it's for speed, and it's really fast. I already broke some personal records as well. But as you can see here, I put a Axis XX1 wireless shifter on the back. It has a 52T on it, Eagle cassette. And you see I have the XX1 crank set with the dub, and I switched out the 34T for a 32T oval chainring, which I like the feel of it. Your pedal stroke, it feels more natural, and it actually works with the shock a little bit better. When the shock compresses, it seems like it launches you forward and saves your legs. And down here, you have the Colossus derailleur. So this particular XX1, it was broken. I keep breaking my derailleurs. This is on my e-bike, my Specialized works, right? And I actually broke 2 of these derailleurs. And so it actually saved me like $150 just by buying this Colossus derailleur hanger. So there's this gold piece here. It's really big. See those big cogs on the back? And it runs a lot smoother, okay? And it's Kogel. I think that's how you say the name. It was easy to install. I don't know why RockShox doesn't let you buy or replace the derailleur hangers, like the full hanger, not just the other side of it. What else? We got TRP Trail Evos here, not the DH, but they're the same in my opinion. They just look, they're a little lighter for a trail, but they stop you on the dime. I had to get some risers because the frame comes stock 160 rotors, and that ain't gonna stop my big butt. Okay, so I had to put an adapter from TRP, pretty cool, and just adapt it to the 180. So I have 180 in the front, 180 on the back. And the adapters are pretty light. So right now the bike sits at 29 pounds. And you can see my saddle, of course, is Spank. The only saddle that I know of that does not hurt my ass for any ride. So all my bikes have the Spank saddle on them. All right. And then also you can see that what I like about TRP, they create these clamps, just like the SRAM, of course, that you can make your cockpit, quote unquote, more cleaner, that you can adapt and just attach the axis adjusters on to the brakes. I think that's pretty much it for now. Oh, another thing, and I'll show you another video. I got these magnetic pedals from MagPed. Okay, very good. I haven't used them yet on any of my shoes yet, but just the pedal itself is pretty grippy without having them magnetically clicked in. So I'll show you that. Once it gets warmer out, I'll clip in, because it's really cold out here. My toes get cold. But anyway, that's it. So let's go for a ride. All right, so I'm going to take it down the trail here. Let me do a warm up. I've got my shocks pretty much dialed in. I think I might need just maybe 1 or 2 volume spacers. So they say this is the XC bike, but they call it Downcountry because you can take it downhill. And I like it too. I can kind of keep the dropper post up. I don't have to actuate the or have the dropper post low when I'm going down hills. It's just so low, like the how fast the seat goes in. Ooh, I think I'm topping out. I can hear it. This is my first time going down here. Taking my time. A little air there. Whoa. Ooh, where I'm going. Whoa, a little slippery. They usually have pretty good water management here. So they made another berm here. That wasn't there before. Either trying to get it ready for the season. Now, this trail belongs to the school. Ooh, a little slippery here. And so, whoa, So we're down at the bottom. Really fast and poppy. You can move the bike around. Okay, so I'm gonna do the climbing right now. Hope it's not too wet. Yeah, see, I need a little spacer in there. It doesn't come back up as quick as it should. I like it ramping up, coming back to the starting point. Everything's dialed in perfectly though. So now we're going over some rock gardens. Looks like someone's been out here working a little bit. Spacer will do it. And it gets hung up a little bit on the front. The back is perfect. That CBF suspension is perfect. Probably 2 spacers would do the job. So fast on these XC trails. I'm glad they put this in. There's like no rocks. Like a Cooper's rock is just rock all over the place. It's horrible. A lot of people don't ride there, but I like riding there because nobody's there. And so I think that's how I got pretty, you know, supposed to put a bridge right there to go across the Baker's Ridge, which is a pretty nice place, or used to be anyway, because they're selling pieces of land off the school is, and so they're taking out some of the trails. Kind of sucks. Okay, now it's time to go up. Okay, so I'm riding on this flat section here. It feels like I'm different because the XC bike has a more hunched over geometry because it's an XC, it's supposed to be fast for racing. All right. But when I point it, start climbing, it's weird. It's like the suspension adjusts you. I don't know if that's what's happening, but it just feels like you have to sit upright. You know, don't hunch over while you're going up. And it's like perfect climbing. Uh-oh. I hear some rattling there. That's my seat. Need some oil. Oh, wrong way. So this oval chainring is equivalent to a 34T. It's a 32T, but on its longest further reach out, it turns to 34. Well, they say 33 to 32T. And then on the downstroke, or on the power stroke, it turns to 30, so it saves your legs, but it creates a more of a natural pedaling platform. So key is just to sit up, don't lean over, and because it's kind of fighting, he'll fight the another thing I like about this bike is too, it has a the chain stays really short. So we're about to test that out, theory out, because these switchbacks are kind of tight. I can get through on my Slash and my high chair, but the Slash has a really long, I think it's 55 or 52. This is like 40. I can't remember what this is, 50. All right, I'm gonna stop talking because this climb is killer. I'll just show you the switchbacks, how tight they are. It looks like someone come out and smoothed out some of the trails. All right, that was easier, a lot easier. Didn't feel like I was gonna flip over. I'm gonna take it down one notch. But climbing building has definitely got better. They're really short. How tight I'm turning these. Very good. Yeah, the other one I'm like up on the hill, like up on the berm there, or the switchback wall, trying to turn that giant bike. Whew. I think I'm trying to talk. Here we go. Oh, it's tight. It wouldn't mind if I call it slash. So it feels like it's not going to make it, but it does. Oh, just get a bigger chain ring and it just seems to pedal much better. Which will actually kill it. Seemed a little tired from yesterday. I can turn those corners tight instead of wide. Yeah, I can take some gnarly downhill. Can I make it? I made it. I lowered the PSI in my tires. I usually ride like 32 PSI in the back, and I don't have to swing wide anymore. You think I don't have to swing wide. It sort of gets you, kind of makes you feel like you're at the top, but you're not. A little slick out here, but anyway, I just dropped the I like being able to turn wide. Oop. My feet are off. You can pretty much just sit back, and you don't have to get an aggressive attack position when riding up the hill. I can turn tight now before I just swing wide. See, I can just swing tight and turn these corners, ignoring the mud there. You can see there's a few little switchbacks there. I gotta take that tighter. That's just nature of the beast. This is my mind from riding this trail on giant full suspension bikes. My legs weren't that strong. I wouldn't be able to get up these hills off this 32T oval. Like I said before, it's equivalent to a 34T. It's pretty hard when you're climbing hills, unless you've, been riding for a while. This trail feels like it has more height than it actually does. It really doesn't. It's like only 200 feet, but man, it feels like you just climbed, 500, maybe even 700 feet. Or 36T, the max. I think the max you can do is 30 without, we should put that on this side. Feel my chain tool. That being light fork, this is a pretty good fork for being so light. I have no problem with it so far. You're gonna need to wash it. A little ramp here. Went right over that. I think I'm going the same speed as I normally do on my e-bike. Just rattling around there. I guess I'm gonna add a spacer. There might be already be one in there. So here, back at the beginning, something's rattling around there. I don't know what it is. It only started happening after I took out the tool. All right, so that's it. All right, stay tuned for my other videos on the individual parts. The individual parts of this bike. Didn't quite use all the travel, as you can see. Oh, another thing too, the wheels are Bond Traeger. I don't know if you can see it down there. They're just the ones that came off my Slash, like the stock. They're pretty heavy, but they're very good wheels though. And so that's what makes this bike really heavy, is the tires. And the new wheels I have coming, which is going to be a surprise, or will make this bike 4 pounds lighter. So it's 29 now, so 4 minus 29 would be like 25 pounds, probably a little less than that. And I'm still running double down casing, and I don't run the cush core on double down or DH. You don't need it. I don't care what anyone says, you don't need, because basically you have cush core in the casing. It's so thick. But anyway, that's it. If you like this videos, thanks for subscribing, and thanks for watching.